What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Chi-Town Blitz episode. Me and my co-host Jay Huff, we here today to break down the latest with the Chicago Bears and look at the future of the Chicago Bears 7-3 team. A lot to talk about. How are we doing today, Jaden?
And I'm blessed.
Always blessed when the Bears could get a dub. Used to pray for times
Extremely.
like this, for real. Needed this. But, the Bears are coming off a big win against Minnesota. Let's start there. Let's start by breaking that down. What were some of your key takeaways from this game, biggest losers from this game? All your thoughts about the Bears' victory.
Man, it was a game that looked eerily similar to week 1 against
Way too
the same
similar.
team. And luckily we had a little bit more time on the clock this time around to punch it
Yeah.
in and finish the game. So I'm super pleased with the defensive performance. You saw JJ try to get something going there at the end, but they were for the most part sealed it up. Super proud of how they attacked the run. And the only things I would say, like things we need to improve on, we played a really good defense in Brian Flores, but we're still struggling in the red zone. If we
Yeah.
score a touchdown, at least one more touchdown, we pretty much put the game away earlier, and we don't have to deal with another fifth game comeback situation.
Seems like they wanted that though. This team, Caleb, they wanted that shit. But in the red zone, yeah, we had too many situations where we were opting for a field goal. And one of the times we weren't in the red zone, but Cairo missed a 40-yard field goal, I believe. It's nice that he got that opportunity to, avenge that. But yeah, we got to be able to get things going. We can't put up just 17 points in this game, or was it 16 points we had? Yeah, that's not enough to beat the good teams. For against Philly, against the Packers, Detroit, we gotta be able to convert in the red zone. I think Roma Dunze, Loveland, those kind of guys have to be somebody you're going to. Mananga's been nice in the red zone with his being the bigger back that's going to put it in, the more physical back opposed to Swift. So I like that, but just want to see the Bears convert more in those situations. Some big winners from this game. I think this is a good Nashawn Wright game. I thought he played pretty well in this one. Got that nice interception. And I don't know if his coach from JUCO passed away. Beam. I don't know if you watched his Netflix stuff, the Last Chance U stuff. It was really good. But he just passed away, and I guess this was like a real important figure in that guy's life and Nashawn Wright's life. So it's a nice emotional win for him. But I thought we saw some good things from him in terms of coverage. Justin Jefferson, the receivers for the Vikings really didn't see too much great production from them as, the Bengals put up against us. Maybe that's on JJ, but I thought the secondary did a better job in this game. And yeah, Nashawn Wright, 4 interceptions on the season now.
Man, he's been hooping, so hats off to him.
Yeah,
And
great bounce
yeah,
back game.
P's and P's to those that lost. What I hear was, a pillar of the community and just, foundational in a lot of young men's lives. So we've all had a great coach like that. Hate to see him go, but definitely proud of Nashawn Wright and the step he took this game. Hard to judge it holistically just because JJ was so ass.
He was bad.
Like, god damn.
Yeah, he was missing
I
a lot of
thought
wide open
Caleb was
throws.
inaccurate, but this guy was just all over the place.
Yeah, he didn't
You could
look
just
right.
tell he was just throwing it hard every time and just there was no touch at all.
I know
And
you
yeah,
remember you heard Brady say, "Sometimes you don't need to throw it 100 miles per hour."
yeah, and he made that point, I feel like, with both quarterbacks during the broadcast. And that's definitely something Caleb needs to work on as well. There was a few deep shots early in the game. If we connect on those, maybe opens things up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking for Caleb. Luckily, we got the win, but we got to continue to improve as the competition ramps up because this was like I feel like it's been slowly but surely creeping up in terms of the competition level, and now we have a slightly better team at 6-4 coming in So got to get a dub.
We thought, them doing the late game heroics and stuff, it was going to sneak up on them in this game. It was nice that it wasn't. Uh, I like the idea of it being a different game ball every week. Like every week, there's a different person that's showing up. I like that. I would prefer, Caleb win more of these games for us. But this run game, I thought was another huge winner. DeAndre Swift, 90 yards rushing. I think he had 21 carries. Monangai had a couple good plays. There was times where Swift was on the sideline because Monangai was giving us a little more physicalness and a little more toughness with his runs. So I think this run game is solidified. This is like the second best rushing attack in the NFL. It's nice that we have this run game to lean on as Caleb's still continuing to build on, what type of player, what type of quarterback he's going to be. And yeah, it's just been nice to have this run game. The interior offensive line's been really good with, blocking Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman. Drew Dahlman's been like one of the best centers in the NFL this year by the numbers and stuff. So I think this run game's been really good. Swift, I think he's going to touch 1,000 yards. Like I like what I'm seeing from that group. Just need this offense with Caleb. Just need to hit the accuracy. Once it gets there, this offense is going to be legit.
Yeah, and you saw Caleb's confidence grow. He looked a little bit more decisive. He definitely made a few guys miss in the pocket. A few he couldn't make, but I didn't see a play where he got like that. Oh, that um, intentional grounding because he's doing too much, or that 15-yard sack in terrible situations. So he's cleaning up the mistakes. Now it's just like connecting on those deep balls, pause, and really, really just having more consistency from a completion percentage perspective. But I like what I've seen from him. I definitely see the steps continuing to grow. And you even seen down the stretch, now that we do have a dominant run game, we could just lean on that when Caleb gets
Yeah.
a little erratic, or he feels like, I feel like at the end of the game, Ben Johnson just was like, hey, let's just run it. And we were able to do that and get the win. So anytime you can nut up and run the ball when the defense knows you're about to run it, and still get 8 yards to seal the win, definitely pleased with that performance.
Yeah, I mean the game-winning drive, it was just all DeAndre Swift carries. Hats off to the special teams because special teams was horrible in this game up until when it needed to be great. Cairo hit the game-winning field goal. Devin Duvernay had a 56-yard return to set us in position to win this football game. So I think the special teams finally rose to the occasion. Happy to see Cairo get that kind of confidence kick, that, game winner situation. Because Jake Moody, I don't know if you saw, he just got signed off our practice squad. He's going to the Commanders, so we no longer have that in our back pocket. But so yeah, Cairo just building that confidence. It's nice that Ben Johnson trusted him too. It felt like, all right, we're gonna put this game in Kyler Santos' hands, and it didn't feel like how Eberflus was doing it, where Eberflus was like, we're not going to try any further. He's going to hit it from 50 yards, even though we know that's out of his range. We got in Cairo's range. Go win us this game for us. We trust you. And Cairo did. So like that. What were some things in this game? Like, what are some players that you thought, you want to see a little more from other than Caleb? Like a loser in this game.
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like it's hard to say. I would say definitely Cairo's got to hit that kick that he missed. Especially in a dome. Like, come on, man, perfect conditions. You got to hit that to get up 2 possessions, and we're not even having this conversation. Even though he made up for it at the end, I'm pleased with that. But yeah, I think the receiving core as a whole could have been a lot better.
Yeah. We had some drops
I'm
too. I
tired
think.
of seeing the drops.
Yeah.
Is the biggest concern, and you see this around the league. I don't know about you, but watching ESPN throughout the day, they were complaining about drops from a lot of different teams
Yeah.
from Sunday. So I don't know what's in the air, but niggas need to start catching the ball. DJ dropped one, almost dropped two. Luther Burden dropped one. That should have been an easy
That was a
one.
bad
So
drop. Yeah. Yeah. That one was like, people are like, all right, Luther, we wanted to give you more opportunity. You got to show up. You can't be dropping the ball like this. Which, it's kind of tough break for bro. He got more snaps in this game. I think he had 33 snaps to Alameda Zacchaeus' 10 snaps. So I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, that continues to grow for him. But yeah, I agree. The weapons, the playmakers, you got to make more plays. Roma Dunze, these guys, you got to make your presence felt. You got to help your quarterback out as much as he's got to, make these throws. And when the ball is in reach, catch that motherfucker. uh,
Right, you already know half of them are gonna be incomplete, so we can't have drops on top of that because that
yeah.
would look just crazy in the stat sheet.
I thought this pass rush, they kind of did. There was a couple plays where they were forcing JJ on some poor throws. Sweat.
Mhm.
Booker had a long arm rep where he put Darisaw in the fucking dirt. Again, another game where he's putting a really good. Not well, Darisaw's a really good tackle, but Orlando Brown Jr. is kind of about mid-average. Putting tackles in the fucking ground. Really like that. But I wanted to see this pass rush get home a little more. With our defense being banged up, I thought the defense played pretty well for the most part of this game. Lockdown, except for, giving that drive to JJ McCarthy at the end. So really encouraged by the defense still. Still want this defensive line to get home and, make their presence felt, get a couple more sacks.
Yeah, we gotta see the defense ramp up. Hopefully, guys can get healthier
That's
as the
something I
season
want to talk about.
progresses,
Yeah.
but
Whatchamacallit, I saw some injury news. I could bring it up right now. Uh, and it's pretty encouraging. Now, three guys. So the injury news by Ben Devine, shout out him with covering Chicago Bears. Jalen Johnson is practicing, could be back either Sunday or Black Friday, the next two
whoa,
games, because he was questionable the last game. Obviously, that's
right.
probably by technicality or whatever, but he looks like he's probably going to be ready these next two games back sooner than later. TJ Edwards is pushing to be back this week, which would be huge because Noah Sewell, he's making a lot of tackles, but sometimes he's a liability.
Man,
And then Kyler Gordon is eligible to practice this week, could be back within the next 2 weeks, this week or Black Friday as well. So they're going to be cautious with him, but Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards, and Jalen Johnson back on this defense, I think we'll be elite then.
no question. And I think that's something people aren't really talking about is how depleted our defense has been all
Yeah.
year. They love to talk about how we are not a contender, we're a pretender, but everybody else gets credit for their injuries except for
That
us.
yeah,
Like, what the fuck? It's
right.
never brought up, which obviously, we're just showing up on the scene. So, some of these national media members might not be as integrated in the day to day, but like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Give us our,
Our
credit too.
best players are out on defensively.
We lead the NFL in takeaways, and Jalen Johnson hasn't played, but week one. So think about it, bro. It's crazy when you think about it. The top three players in interceptions, Jermaine Edmonds with 4, Nashawn Wright with 4, Kevin Byard with 5. That's all Chicago Bears, 3 of them. It's crazy. And this is, like I said, without your shutdown corner, one of the best corners in the NFL not too long ago was a second team All Pro. Imagine adding him into the mix and then Kyler Gordon, our second best corner. We're doing this with a motherfucker, 4 interceptions from Nashawn Wright, and he was signed before damn near before training camp. So just great. This defense, Dennis Allen, I think he's legit. He's been as good, well, maybe not as good as Ben Johnson, but he's had a similar impact with changing this defense, getting the most out of them. You see a lot of players on this defense that are taking it to another level. So I'm very encouraged by this defense. You mentioned it a little bit, contenders or pretenders. Do you think the Bears at 7-3 are a legit team now? I mean, you have to be considered being a legit team winning 7 of the last 8 games after starting 0-2. Come on, that's not just luck.
Exactly. And, the national pundits point to our schedule, but hell, everybody's struggling with everybody. So
Yeah.
the teams
Denver.
we beat have gone toe to toe with the best teams in the league. So I'm not trying to hear that shit. And then you look at the ways we're winning. It's not like it's one way. We're finding a different way to win, even though it's at the end of the game. All of these wins we've accrued over the season. So I'm I'm in the camp where confidence is through the roof. I'm putting us against anybody. especially if we get our best players back defensively.
Playing like this, without hitting our ceiling yet offensively, without having our guys fully back defensively. So I have all the utmost trust in Ben Johnson. I mean, our metrics, our numbers are great offensively. Top 10 offense, fourth in total yards, great rushing attack. We have the playmakers. I mean, Loveland, he's making a big play every game. Roma Dunze, he's has 600 yards. It's just a matter of when these guys are connecting better with Caleb. I think that's going to happen at some point. If we don't get that, we have a run game to lean back on, like we said. So offensive line is playing well too. So Caleb's playing with confidence. So I think this team is really good. And it's not just luck. It's not just luck with this team. A different player every week is being player of the game. Coaching staff is nice right now. So I'm really hyped about this team. I mean, sky's the limit for us, man. Sky's the limit. And one thing I was thinking about though, how many teams in the NFC would you take over the Bears right now? Like if you were going to do a top 10 rankings, I know me and Ryan were saying that, the Bears were in the top 10. What are your thoughts about this? Where do you view
In the
this team right now?
NFC,
In the NFC and the NFL. We could start, where would you put them in the top 10 in the NFL? And then how many NFC teams would you take over
that's a good question.
them? I think right now, personally, there's two teams right off the top of my head. I think the Rams and the Eagles. You could just automatically put those teams over us. I think those
For
are
sure.
the cream of the crop of the NFC, and then it gets wicked after that.
Yeah, I would say you got to put Detroit over us just because they blew us out. Green Bay, I wouldn't be quick to pull the trigger on that, even though they have a dominant defense. I'd like to see our run game against them,
Yeah, me too.
but I'm gonna put the Bears above them because I'm biased, and we don't have a game against them just yet this year.
And they haven't looked that good, I don't think.
So yeah, I like us at 4 or 3 in the NFC, and then we definitely crack in the top 10 in the overall league because the NFC is stronger than the AFC at least this year. So I like us better than the Patriots, better than the Colts,
Yeah, I'm not.
and
I'm not too high on the Colts
even
as
the
much as people
Broncos. I'm
expect.
like, shit, we can go toe to toe. My question is, have we faced a top 10 defense, and if so, have we been able to win? And I think right now our formula has been really just capitalizing off the turnovers and
Time of possession.
going against, so defenses. So that's going to be one thing I look at as we go down the stretch because, next week we got an all-time great defense, and then it just continues to get more difficult as the road goes on. So I don't think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but have we played a dominant defense to this point of the season?
I mean, how dominant will we consider Minnesota? I think Minnesota's still a good defense. They didn't have Grenard though. They're one of their
Mhm.
top pass rushers. In terms of giving teams, I mean, this is still, I would say, top 15, top 10 defense kind of
Yeah,
fringe. Minnesota is. Trying to
true,
think. Baltimore, they got the best of us. So this was when Baltimore's defense was playing better. When they beat us.
true.
So I would say that was probably a top 10 defense we played that got the best of us. But Steelers, I don't know if Jalen Ramsey's going to play or not. I don't know if they're suspending him for the game after punching Jamar Chase
Yeah, I
reasonably,
doubt they
though.
will
Yeah.
because they already fined or they already suspended Jamar Chase, so you would think
They're like,
it
all right.
would.
Yeah.
It was justified.
So yeah, that's a good point though. I'm excited to see them go against Pittsburgh then, who I think is kind of another Minnesota situation. Pass rush is going to challenge us. Theo Benedict and Darnell Wright are going to have to be on their P's and Q's against Nick Urbick, S rusher from Wisconsin, 6.5 sacks right now. Highsmith's nice, and then TJ Watt, of course. So it's going to be a good game this weekend, even if Rodgers doesn't play. But yeah, this next week's going to tell us exactly what we want to know about this Bears team. And with them being 7-3, having the confidence, this is exactly where I wanted them to be heading into this tough, rough stretch of games.
Yeah, just to add to that, against the Vikings, that was a must win. You can't get swept in your own division and expect to go to the playoffs, especially where how tight the race is. So big shout out to Philly for beating
The Eagles
NFC
Bears
North
alliance.
opponents back to back weeks, but it's gonna be all business when we see them on Black Friday.
That's gonna be a game. Um,
Yep.
yeah, let's get into that point. Do the Bears have a shot against the Eagles? The more thing I'm thinking about, I think defensively we can match up with their offense, especially with will we got our
Yeah.
guys back because their offense has been struggling all season. Really, they kind of been like us. The consistency hasn't been there. Defensively, though, I think this defense has played a lot better. This would be a top 10 defense. Acquiring Jalen Phillips has been one of the biggest moves for them. He had eight pressures in his first game with them and a forced fumble that won the game for them against Green Bay, and then had a sack against the Lions last week, a couple pressures too. So huge impact. He's been just as good as Jalen Carter for them right off the gates as an edge. So another Howie Roseman gem. And then in the back end, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, they got some dudes and Zach
Yeah.
Bond, N'Kobe Dean. So I think I'm more nervous about their defense. What are your thoughts with that?
100%. And that's why I brought up like the matchups we haven't faced yet. So you got the Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns,
Yeah, those are going to
all
be top defenses.
defensive heavy teams, all back to back. Now we got one of the best offenses in the league, and a lot of that might have to do with our schedule. So I'm excited to see if we can run the ball enough to make sure Caleb isn't asked to do too much. And even if he is, can he elevate his play enough to beat a lot of these teams? Because if we go 2-2 over the next four, that puts us in a really good spot moving into the playoffs. We're 9-5, and we just got to finish strong against the Packers, Niners, and Lions.
Which I think we could. I mean, what do you have to win? You probably have to go 2-1 in that. We got Packers at Chicago at Soldier Field and Detroit in Soldier Field late in the later stretch of that. I think and those 49ers. Let me see.
Yeah, we got Steelers, Eagles, Packers, Browns, Packers, 49ers, Lions.
So yeah, so after Steelers, Eagles, Packers, so Steelers is at home this week, Eagles away, Packers away, and then you got Cleveland at home, Packers at home, Lions at home, 49ers away. So you're looking at 3 out of your last 4 games are at home, which is nice. That should be a benefit to us. I think this team has a shot. Just get through these games. I'm okay if we lose to the Eagles, beat Pittsburgh, and then split with Green Bay, beat Detroit at the end, like whatever combination is, as long as we get to that destination, maybe 11-6 would probably be the sweet spot for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Or would it be
And
12 and
yeah, I think
6?
it would be 11
11 and
and
6.
6. I think you got to get to 11 to make the playoffs. Unless, teams just fall off, which, you've seen how well the 49ers played last week. So I
Yeah,
don't
they
see
look
that
back.
happening. It's going to be a finish to the end. And I think in our benefit, Caleb's only getting better, more confident. Offensive line is only getting more ingratiated. And defense can get healthy at the right time. We might be cooking with gas.
I'm cooking with grease. Yes, sir. Question is for you too. Like a question I was thinking. The Bears are first place in the NFC North for the first time since 2018. How long can they keep this first place?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think we can win the division?
I think we can. I think we can win the division. Let's see what the. All right, this is what I have on my notes. So our remaining schedule, we already talked about it. Packers have the Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos. That's gonna be a tough game for Green Bay. Bears, and then Ravens, Vikings. So I think Ravens and Broncos will be 2 potential losses for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could beat them, that's 3. So that puts them at 6 losses and 1 tie. Then they have the Vikings and they have Detroit too, one more time. So who knows what happens with that? And then the Lions, losing to the Eagles. They have the Giants, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. I think the Rams is a loss for them. And if we handle business with them, we can get that tiebreaker. So I think the opportunity is there for us, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Detroit versus us that last game because
I think so
Detroit's
too.
schedule is pretty favorable. They're going to want to beat the Packers, which kind of eliminates the Packers if they lose to them, plus the 2 other teams you mentioned. So it's going to be about us handling business. And if we split with Green Bay, we got to beat Detroit that last game. Shit, it might be a case for us to not just win the division, but let's start to focus on seeding. Can we get a bye in this motherfucker? What?
That's crazy.
Wait,
That
there's only one bye this year, right?
yeah. So
Okay,
the first
maybe
seed's gonna
not.
get the bye. Yeah, probably not. But like a
We beat the
favorable
Eagles.
matchup. Yeah.
What if we beat the Eagles, nigga?
I don't
We
know.
need to
I
have
don't
a
know.
parade. Fuck
My
it,
mind will go crazy if we beat the
parade
Eagles.
early.
There's nobody we can not beat in the NFL if we beat the Eagles in my head. Um,
But you
but
look at the top of the NFC. A lot of these teams are defense heavy.
yeah,
So if our offense can show any type of potential against some of these teams, shit, look out.
yeah, I think so too. It'd be very encouraging, and I think it's important that Caleb is getting that confidence right now. The escapability. I mean, some of these defenses can get after the quarterback, but can they touch on Caleb? Can they touch Houdini? Can they get their hands on him?
Right.
um, but in your opinion, though, is Detroit the best team in the NFC right now in the NFC North? If you had to look at it holistically, if you looked at it, yeah, like if you had to guess right now at the top of your head.
I would say so, but I mean, last night didn't do them any favors.
No, Dan Campbell's calling plays too. So there's probably some
Green Bay
panic.
is there's holes on their offense. They're also depleted.
Jordan Love's cheeks.
They play down to their competition every game. So I like our chances, to be honest with you. But yeah, I would say Detroit is our number one competitor just because Green Bay's got a tie on their record, and shit, they're liable to lose to anybody because of just how they play. And nobody talks about it when you lose to bad teams. They only talk about it when you just squeak by.
Right. They lost to Carolina and the Browns. And motherfuckers are putting a diamond test to us. uh,
God, like what?
so yeah, I think Green Bay is a team that like, yeah, I think we would have more success and that's a team I feel more confident against, which is crazy to say now, than the Detroit Lions. Because think about it, we beat Green Bay. Caleb's undefeated at Lambeau, and Ben Johnson was popping this shit, when he first became head coach. Oh yeah, I'm excited to play Matt LaFleur twice a year still. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
And you
excited
love
for
that
that.
out of your coach because that wasn't always the case.
No, no, no. Bro, our coach was more like a buddy from Waterboy, the coach. When he
Oh
going against
God,
NFC North coaches,
nigga was
and then
hiding under his desk.
that shit. All right, so yeah, I'm more confident against Green Bay. I mean, honestly, something I was thinking about, like with how this division's playing out, could Green Bay even miss the playoffs? Like how it's phasing out. I mean, the 49ers, the
Somebody
margin,
got to.
yeah, there's an opportunity for either Detroit. I think Detroit will make the playoffs as a wild card if we win the division. But the Packers could be on the outside looking in a potential, like if things don't play out their way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That tie bites them in the ass.
And if they don't handle
And
business against the NFC in the NFC North games, yeah, they could be out of luck. Because like I said, Baltimore is going to beat them. I think that's 100% for sure. How they're playing. Denver, I think, is going to give them fits. That's going to be a really tough game for them. So that's 5 losses plus, Detroit. If we beat them, that puts them at 7 losses. If they, you know what I mean. So I think they could be on the outside looking in at a 10-7 potentially.
hey, and that's what it's gonna come down to. There's gonna be a 10-win team that doesn't make it.
And then you think the 49ers squeak in over them. Would be interesting. And motherfuckers are already chatting. Packers fans can't stand their ass. They don't know how to deal with failure. They're already calling for Matt LaFleur's head. It's like, come on, bro. Any team in the NFL would be happy to have Matt LaFleur as their head coach. He's is not the problem.
Yeah, but when the goal is winning Super Bowls and you are falling short,
Yeah,
sometimes it takes a boost in the arm. You know what I'm saying? Golden
yeah.
State fired their coach after a
Mark
playoff
Jackson.
run, and and got Steve Kerr, and the rest is history. So if you like a guy that you feel way more confident in that can maybe take you to that next level, now you got to know that before you fire somebody. But if you got that guy, shit, in mind, whoever that is, whether it's internal or external, I understand that, especially when they have a new president in place and they haven't extended Matt LaFleur or the GM yet.
Mhm. So, no, one thing I was thinking about, um, if the season ended today, it would be Chicago versus Green Bay in the playoffs right now for the wild card. Who you think would take that victory? It's Chicago.
Man, that's a good question. I gotta see the matchups first. It's hard to beat a team
We
3
would
times
host
or
it
play a
too at
team 3
Soldier Field.
times and win.
Yeah.
Right. So, man, it's just gonna come down to who plays better, Caleb or Jordan Love, and Green Bay's defense is a lot better than ours. So,
Yeah.
man, if we can limit the mistakes, the mental errors, and not turn the ball over, and our defense can have an average game, I like our chances, even though, the odds makers are going to say the complete opposite.
Yeah, I like our chances too in that game. Definitely, we have an opportunity. I think we will split with the Packers. That's one thing I'm thinking. Split with the Packers, and if the game happened right now in the playoffs, this would be our third time facing Green Bay. I take the Bears, man. I take the Bears to get the dub. Caleb Ben
Of
Johnson
course you do.
got the momentum in the playoffs for the first time. Could you imagine that? Like in your first season, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, they beat the Packers in the playoffs. Send the Packers packing. Because
Hey,
before we would be hoping and praying for the Packers to lose in the playoffs when they
man,
get in.
that would heal my childhood trauma.
No therapy needed. Then a
Oh
couple of
God.
bad years of fandom down the out the picture. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Um, One thing I wanted to ask you too, with Minnesota, you think their season's over?
Yes, because there's no bright side to this performance
It
from
isn't.
JJ. Like, there's
No.
nothing you take away and be like, well, he's got this going for him, or he's got that. Like, dude, you got the best receiving core arguably in the league, and you can't even throw to the motherfuckers when they open. It's the NFL.
Yeah, you can't be doing that shit. And
Who
it's
worse,
like,
him or Justin Fields?
he
It's
throw
got to
up
be
a
Justin because he got
yeah.
benched.
Yeah, for Tyrod Taylor, and the motherfucker threw for 54 yards passing, and one of
That
them
that
was a
just I
42
don't know
yard.
how that happens.
It's bad. Yeah, he did just get benched, but JJ McCarthy. We could get into that too after this. JJ McCarthy, he might be in a tough spot. Like I think the Vikings potentially could be looking for another quarterback next year. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, he's got this year to prove it, but if he doesn't, I would be too because Kevin O'Connell is known
If
to be the
everybody
quarterback
works with Kevin
whisperer.
O'Connell except for you, that's a problem.
Exactly. So you can't be out here having a 22 QBR and expecting to win.
And he had some heroics down in the fourth. It was nice, Had he gotten this victory, it'd been a little different. But still, I think on a consistent basis, he's just not been that. I think 8 interceptions in the 5 or 6 games he's played. And I mean, honestly, you look at a Kyler Murray. Would he be nice with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota with the weapons? That'd be a nice quarterback to add in. Or yeah, Kyler Murray could be on the outs. I know some people are like, "Oh, Justin Fields going to Minnesota would be nice." Could you imagine that?
I can't imagine a world where Justin Fields is not the backup next year
Or playing
for
safety. What
any
did you say?
team.
You said to throw him at
Yeah,
safety.
or he got a little Tebow package or
Yeah.
Taysom Hill package. Like that might be his lane. Yeah, I mean, he had that great flash in the pan year, but that was
The
it.
rookie, yeah. Yeah. It's been tough for bro. The Jets, it's really been nightmare situation for him going over there. They gave him a nice contract, but yeah, I think he's probably done as a starter, like you said. And JJ McCarthy, he's getting close to that. I think if this season continues to be a disappointment, I think next year they give him a little bit of opportunity to start a couple games, and then they have a veteran backup like a Anthony Richardson, Danny Dimes situation where they give him a couple games of the first, different from Indianapolis where they give him the first games to start, and then all right, you're not playing to level, you're done. The leash is short. It's tough though because rookie
Yeah,
quarterbacks, it's his first season. Um, but Justin Jefferson, Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, all the weapons he has, it's kind of a situation where it's hard to fail.
especially against our defense. Like shit. Obviously, we take the ball over a lot, but we'll let you run up the yards on our ass. So the
Exactly.
fact that he wasn't even moving the ball against us, that's a red flag in and of itself.
Let's look forward to Steelers versus Bears. How are we feeling about this game?
Feel good just because, number one, A-Rod hand broke. So that's a great sign. You know, Jalen Warren is listed as questionable. Shit, he must have tweaked his ankle or something. So,
And he's
I
been
mean,
pretty
we're in
nice
a good
lately.
spot.
Yeah, it's
How
looking good.
good are they against the run is the question.
I know their secondary is a little kind of bend don't break type. Like they give up more than they should. They got some old corners, Ramsey, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr. is nice, but this is a defense that's gettable still within everything.
Like middle of the pack against the
Yeah.
run.
Rush yards per game, they're 29th, giving up 88.2.
They're the worst team against the pass. How'd that work?
Caleb, time to run it up. I told you their secondary is
They are
susceptible.
the worst team against the pass.
That's crazy.
Which I mean, they had their lows down this earlier in the season, but yeah, definitely a little bit more bendo break. So we'll see what happens. Teams are averaging just under 24 points per game. I think we're in a good spot to win this, and Baltimore is on their heels. This is a must win for them. They can't lose another game. But I think we got the opportunity to help out the Ravens, much like the Eagles helped us out.
Right. The Eagle Lions shit has been nice. I think this is a good game for Caleb to go crazy. A good game for him to bounce back. What are your thoughts on that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see him have that Dallas level performance. Obviously, the Steelers defense is better than Dallas, but it'd be nice to see him get that game where everything's coming together, especially before we play an elite defense, the Eagles. We need some confidence going into that game. So, last week you predicted Caleb to go, four total touchdowns. He kind of shit the bed for you in that prediction. I think that'd be a good prediction for this upcoming week against the Steelers. So sucks that Aaron Rodgers more than likely won't be playing in this game. An opportunity to beat him in his last game at Soldier Field. Who knows? Maybe he could play. Hasn't been ruled out yet, though. So we'll see with that, but I think we should be confident for this matchup. I think 8-3 is really realistic. And, I asked you how long could we keep first place in the division. With this win, we would keep it for another week heading into a game against Philly.
Exactly. So, I mean, outside of the Bengals game, which is a rivalry and they already played this year, they've been getting their ass torched. So, I mean, you look at the last
Joe Flacco beat him too
yeah,
not too long ago with the Bengals.
25 against the Chargers, 20 against the Colts, and they still had a shit ton of turnovers. So that was a bit of an outlier, and they still gave up a dub. 35 against the Packers, and then 33 against the Bengals. So this defense can get got. Now we can't give them easy opportunities to turn the ball over
Get
or
sacks, yeah.
sack us. So I think Ben Johnson's going to put together a really good game plan because we just went through a similar exercise with the Vikings defense.
Yeah.
And, hats off to Caleb. One way I didn't mention this earlier, but he was hitting the checkdowns a lot more. He's hitting guys in stride so they could break tackles. And, those 2 to 3 yard checkdowns turn into 10 yards, and we're moving the sticks, gets guys acclimated. So that's one thing I was really appreciative of Caleb uh, against the Vikings was he was getting the ball out quick, hitting guys in the flat versus trying to be superhero every play.
Yeah, that was refreshing to see. Like I said, it's just the confidence. He's looking more comfortable in the offense. And yeah, the Vikings are a very comparable defense to the Steelers. I think this is another defense. That's a good comparison for what we'll see this Saturday or this Sunday.
Mhm.
So Caleb, hopefully he can come out slinging. Hopefully, Roma Dunze, Loveland, the weapons get more involved. DJ Moore, want to see a big game for him. At least we'll have the run game. I think we'll be able to run against his football team. And yeah, worst pass defense. Let's light their ass up. Let's light them up. At Soldier Field too. Mason Rudolph, if he's the starter, uh, hopefully we get a 4 takeaway game.
If you had to guess who's starting,
Right now, I think Rogers might go to get some ayahuasca to be you ever see that Dragon Ball Z meme where the guy's like loading in the like the tank?
of course, this is one of my favorite.
Yeah, that's what Rogers gonna do all week just to be out there Sunday. But
He's done that before to us where we think
broke his
he's injured
collarbone damn near,
and it looks like nothing happened and he just going fucking crazy.
which would be
So
nightmare situation. It would probably destroy all the hope I have for this team if this motherfucker came out there playing and beat us. Well, maybe not destroy hope, but it would be like, fuck.
yeah, that would be tough. Considering we haven't lost in a while, it's gonna be hard to swallow that pill, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a long ass week until it's a short week, with the Black Friday game, but you don't want to go into a game against Philly after a loss, losing to Aaron Rodgers after a heartbreaker. So we'll see. I think Mason Rudolph though will probably get the start, and I don't want to, guarantee a victory. The motherfuckers in the chat was telling me to delete what I said.
Yeah, they was a
But
little hard on you. I was confused.
I'm like, what's up with it? But Tyler Huntley, he did beat us. I think Baltimore was a better defense, though. We did lose that game, but I think at home, Bears have Bears have been fine at home. So I think Mason Rudolph, especially, I'm confident in the Bears getting a victory and going 8-3 and keeping a hold on the NFC North. Now, Ryan Poles, when he was brought into Chicago, we're going to take the NFC North and never give it back. We took the NFC North. Are we going to give it back yet? I don't know.
We have officially taken the NFC North.
Which is crazy. 4
3
years
years
in.
into Bowles' career. 4
Hey.
years after he said that.
No, I think it was like somebody actually did the math on this shit. It was like 1,000 some days since he said that. But what would you say? Would you predict a victory? What's your thoughts? If you had to get
Yeah,
so 8-3?
definitely. Yes, this is a win. The Steelers, if anybody's a pretender, they are. Like, what the fuck are
Yeah,
we talking about?
just
Like,
got clapped by the Chargers not too long ago.
if anybody's a pretender, it's they ass. So we gonna show up and show out. And I'm excited to see what the media has to say after another W.
Yeah,
Because this is our first win against. This will be our first win against a team with a winning record, right?
I think so.
So, hey, I don't want to hear shit. And
I,
the vibe's gonna be super high going into Black Friday.
oh yeah,
Amazon,
we gonna be talking crazy. Oh, we might
we
have a
beat
shot
the
to beat the
Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah, if we beat the Eagles, crazy shit will be said.
Bears here for Christmas if we beat the Eagles.
That one year
Kids
where
getting Bears toys and shit.
that one year where we all had Justin Fields jerseys on, and that was not even with us winning shit.
That was wild. Now them bitches and Marshalls and Goodwill.
For the Lowski.
They giving them bitches away.
So
Buy 5 shirts, you get a Justin Fields jersey for free.
Crazy, nasty. That's really how it is. I went to one of the pros jersey spots at the mall, and yeah, that's how they're moving now. Unfortunately for him, they're probably doing the same shit in New York too. That's all we got for the Bears talk. Uh, One question I want to ask you to finish things up: do you want to see Anthony Davis in Chicago? There's rumors that they might want to trade for bro, and his time in Dallas is looking like it's coming to an end. Would you want to see Anthony Davis in Chicago?
Considering we haven't had a superstar since Derrick Rose's prime,
And a
hell yeah,
Chicago guy,
fuck.
yeah.
Who else are we gonna get that's a top 5 player or potentially top 5?
Top
You
10,
feel me?
yeah.
Like we're the third largest market and we ain't got no superstars ever.
Yeah.
The fuck? How does that happen?
Giddy is nice, but he's not a superstar.
We
He's
ain't
not
had
what
a
Anthony
superstar
Davis.
since D Rose.
That would be next level. I would want to see Anthony Davis come back to Chicago and give us a couple years of contending. Um, if we could keep Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Buzelis, and Anthony Davis, sign me up for it. If we got to give up Kobe White in the package, I don't know. I'd be a little hesitant because I like Kobe White. That's my guy.
Yeah, I would wonder what they look for, but I think with they just fired the GM, so this is the time where you're like you
Yeah,
got a fresh GM on the clock. You got a rookie superstar that's going to take time to mold. Do you build around him? Or, Kyrie is getting up there in age. He just got hurt again. So,
yeah.
um, they're in a weird state, which it would make sense for them to get rid of AD. Now, the price can't be too high
It
because that
can't.
nigga ain't healthy either. So, I'm not
No.
giving away no superstars. I'll give y'all a few firsts for
Yeah.
futures, but
That's why, yeah, the price can't be that high. I'll throw
I can't
Vucevic in that bitch.
give away the talent.
You're not getting no like real core pieces. Maybe yeah, Vucevic, draft picks. Yeah, but Buzelis is staying with us, obviously, and then Giddy. So Anthony Davis with some nice young pieces with his team being more exciting this year. I think I would 100% be signed up for that.
I'd take anything. Pause.
Even Dick.
I said pause.
Oh, but do you have a hot take to finish things out?
Can I roll with my hot take from last week? That shit got a hit, man. I need Caleb to go berserk. He hasn't had a game where he's gone berserk yet this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had the Jags game last year where he just went crazy,
I
but
think
he ain't had
Dallas, he
that yet.
had, I think Dallas would probably be, but Dallas's defense is buns. So
Yeah, Dallas was a good game, but we got a lot of picks that game. I got to see his numbers, but
I think it was like 3 or 4 passing touchdowns. Not sure. We did have a lot of, that's a good prediction for this week, though. I think they like with the Steelers defense being cheeks this year, cheeks against the pass. I think that's a good prediction for me. The Bears, uh, I think Luther Burden goes off this week. Luther Burden and Loveland, I think both of them touch 100 yards in this game. It's a rookie game. It's a game where all the rookies dominate.
okay, I ain't
Manungai
mad at
gets a
that.
rushing touchdown. I think that's what we want to see more from this group. Loveland, like I said, anytime we give the motherfucker the ball, he goes crazy. So I want to see more of that. I want to see us build off on that. He gets 40 to 50 yards receiving easily every game. So let's get him to being more of that playmaker, that guy that we feature the most, and Luther Burden as well. Want to see his snaps continue to go up, and I think if you give those guys more opportunities, they will show out. So both of those guys put up 100 yards receiving against the Steelers. It's not the old guys, not the DJ Moore, not the Rome, not the older, not the more seasoned weapons. It's the young guys that show up big for Caleb and the Bears.
I really like Loveland.
Me too.
He's been showing definitely some like superstar qualities.
I think that pick was a hit, bro. I think he's a
I think
guy. I
so
think
too.
he was the right choice. But next year, let's get a pass rusher or a tackle. That's all we got for the show today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay updated with our channel, Chi-Town Blitz. Make sure to like and subscribe on the channel. Check out Six Man Blitz as well. Like and subscribe on that. Help us grow further on that. But anything Bears, anything Bulls, anything that happens with us, we got you covered with some of the best coverage and analysis on it, and some fun, entertaining content within that too as well. Thank you guys as always. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. As always, peace. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years, because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.